Has this ever happened to you? You're driving. Everything's completely normal. And suddenly, for no logical reason, you hit the brakes. A split second later, a car blows right through a red light, directly in front of you. You didn't think about it. You didn't make a conscious decision. Something stopped you. Or maybe it was something else. That random thought in the middle of the night, urging you to call someone. And that exact person, on that exact night, desperately needed to hear your voice. We call it a coincidence. But what if we only use that word because we don't have a better one for it yet? The Bible is actually incredibly clear about this. In Psalm 91, it says, "For he will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways." Not sometimes, not just when you deserve it. In all your ways. Today, we're going to talk about the three most powerful archangels in Scripture. The one who fights your battles when you have no strength left. The one who gives you direction when you're completely lost. And the third one is the angel most people don't know enough about. The one who steps in precisely when your situation feels hopeless. Stick around until the end, because what you're about to learn about this third archangel might completely change the way you look at whatever season you're walking through right now. Before he even had a name, he had a question. And that question became his entire identity. Michael. In Hebrew, mythical. Who is like God? That's not a philosophical question. That is a battle cry. Picture the scene. In the very beginning, before humanity even existed, an angel of unmatched beauty and power decides he can rise above God himself. Lucifer, the light bringer, who says in his heart, and we see this in Isaiah 14, "I will ascend above the tops of the clouds, I will make myself like the Most High." And that's when Michael steps up. Not with arguments. Not with a negotiation. With a single question, thrown like a gauntlet right in the face of the greatest pride the universe had ever seen. Who is like God? In Revelation chapter 12, John describes this cosmic war. Michael and his angels fighting the dragon. And the dragon, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, is hurled down to earth. Michael didn't win by chance. He won because he knew exactly who he was serving. But why am I telling you this? Because Michael didn't just stay in that cosmic battle. He is still moving. In the book of Daniel, he is called the great prince who protects your people. Not some distant prince. A prince who stands guard. Right now. For you. Have you ever felt an overwhelming anxiety that comes out of nowhere? An irrational fear. A heavy oppression right when you wake up. No logical reason. Just on the heavy weight. Or maybe crushing thoughts. Inner voices telling you that you're worthless. That you'll never make it. That you're completely alone. In the Christian faith, we call that spiritual warfare. And Michael is the exact archangel assigned to fight back. His sword doesn't just fight in the heavens. It cuts through invisible strongholds. Through paralyzing fear. Through the toxic thought patterns destroying you from the inside. Through those seasons where you feel like everything is relentlessly coming against you. Michael is the commander of the heavenly host. But remember this. A warrior only fights for those who are willing to be protected. The traditional Catholic prayer to Saint Michael says, "Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil." That's not superstition. That's an acknowledgement. An acknowledgement that we just can't face everything on our own. Michael protects you from the attacks. But once you're safe, you still need to know where to go. And for that, we have Gabriel. But now you're on your feet. You're looking around. And you have no idea where to go. Maybe you just survived a really tough season. A breakup. A failure. A dark valley in your life. You're still here. You're still breathing. But the lingering question, the one that sometimes hurts even more than the pain itself, what do I do now? That is exactly where Gabriel steps in. Gabriel. In Hebrew, Gabriel, the strength of God. Not the strength of weapons. The strength of truth. Because Gabriel doesn't carry a sword. Gabriel carries the word. And throughout all of Scripture, notice something amazing. Gabriel never shows up to deliver minor updates. He appears to Daniel to reveal the mysteries of the end times. To Zechariah, to announce the birth of John the Baptist when all hope seemed lost. To Mary, to tell her she was about to change the entire course of human history. 3 interventions. 3 massive turning points in the history of the world. Gabriel doesn't just show up for no reason. When he speaks, it matters. So ask yourself this honestly right now. Are you in a season where you just don't know what path to take? Your career has stalled out and you don't know whether to stay or walk away. A relationship where you're torn between fighting for it or finally letting go. A dream you've held onto, but you're too afraid to launch. That confusion, it isn't a weakness. It's usually the exact moment right before your breakthrough. Gabriel operates in the quiet, not in the noise of social media, not in the hustle of everyday life. In that specific moment when you finally put your phone down, when you close your eyes, when you ask the question out loud, or even just deep in your heart, show me the way. And Gabriel answers. Not always the way you expect him to. Sometimes it's a dream, and you wake up with an unshakable certainty. Sometimes it's a line in a book that jumps right off the page at the exact right second. Sometimes it's the aha moment. Not an ordinary idea. An aha like a lock just clicked open inside your soul. Like you knew it all along, and you were just being reminded. In the Gospel of Luke, when Gabriel appears to Mary, he starts with these words, "Greetings, you who are highly favored." Before he even announces his mission. Before he even explains what's about to happen. He starts by telling her who she is. That's what Gabriel does. He doesn't just hand you a roadmap. He reminds you of who you are, before telling you where to go. Because you can't step into your purpose with clarity if you don't first know your worth. Michael protected you from the outside attacks. Gabriel gave you direction. But there's one question left that neither a sword nor a word can fix on their own. What do you do with the wounds you've been carrying for so long? That deep, buried pain. The trauma you thought you were over. The broken relationships you have no idea how to repair. For that, there is a third archangel. The one I told you about at the very beginning. The one so many people overlook. The one who steps in when all hope seems lost. There's a man in the Bible. An ordinary guy. Who's been suffering for way too long. His name is Tobit. He lived a good life. He was a righteous man. He helped others. And yet, he lost his life savings. He lost his eyesight. And he's just waiting to die, entirely convinced that God has forgotten him. Hundreds of miles away, there's a woman named Sarah. She has lost 7 husbands. 7 times she hoped. 7 times she grieved. And she too, alone in her room, is crying in silence. 2 people. 2 shattered lives. 2 prayers going up to heaven on the exact same day. And God sends Raphael. Raphael. In Hebrew, Raphael. God heals. Not God healed. Not God might heal eventually. God heals. Present tense. Active. Right now. And what makes Raphael so unique among all the archangels is the way he works. He travels alongside Tobit's son on a very long journey. He guides him. He protects him. He talks with him. And the entire time, they have no idea he's an angel. They just think he's a traveling companion. A kind stranger. A chance encounter. Do you see where I'm going with this? How many times in your life has someone shown up at the exact right time? A total stranger who says the exact words you needed to hear. A friend who calls out of the blue. A helping hand when you had completely given up hope. Raphael doesn't always show up with giant wings and a blinding light. He shows up looking a whole lot like luck. But Raphael doesn't just heal physical bodies. That's where a lot of people stop. They only think of him for physical sickness, for surgeries, for terrifying medical diagnoses. And yes, he is absolutely there for that. But in the Book of Tobit, what he actually heals goes so much deeper. He heals Tobit's blindness, but also his despair. He heals Sarah's broken marriages and her deep-seated shame. He heals the journey of an entire family that didn't know how to move forward anymore. What about you? Maybe you don't need a physical healing right now. Maybe it's a relationship you thought was dead and gone. A bond with your dad, your mom, someone you lost, or someone you hurt. Maybe it's a childhood wound you carry so deep inside that you can't even remember a time before you had it. Maybe it's your own self-worth. That inner voice telling you you don't deserve to be happy. That everyone else does, but not you. Raphael is the physician for all of that. And here is what you need to understand about divine healing. It is rarely instant. We all want to wake up one morning, completely set free. No more pain. No more scars. No more heavy baggage. But in the Book of Tobit, the journey takes time. The healing comes at the end of the road, not before you walk it. Raphael doesn't teleport you to the finish line. He walks with you through the valley. That's why he is known as the patron saint of travelers. Not just people crossing borders. People walking through hardships. People who are in a wilderness season of life, wondering if there's even a point in keeping going. At the end of the story, Raphael finally reveals who he really is. And he says something absolutely staggering. I am Raphael, one of the 7 angels, who stand in the glorious presence of the Lord. He was there from the very beginning, present in every single step of the journey. Invisible, but real. What if it's the exact same for you? What if, in the middle of whatever you're facing right now, you aren't nearly as alone as you think you are? Now you know all 3. The warrior who protects you, the messenger who guides you, the physician who heals you. But one major question remains. How do you actually know when they're around? How do you recognize their presence in your own life? That's exactly what we're going to look at right now. Let me be completely honest with you. Those lists of angel signs you see all over the internet. The repeating numbers. The white feathers. The butterflies. It's not that they're fake. It's that they're incomplete. And honestly, they can make you miss the bigger picture. Because angels don't operate like push notifications on your phone. They don't just send you coded alerts to decipher. Their presence is so much deeper than that, and so much more personal. The number 1 sign of Michael's presence in your life. It isn't some sudden surge of superhuman strength. It's not some heroic adrenaline rush. It's when you were feeling a crippling, paralyzing fear. And it just dissolves. Not because your circumstances changed. Not because you figured out a solution. It just leaves. A peace that defies all human logic. As if something stepped silently right between you and the threat. The Apostle Paul talks about it in Philippians 4. The peace of God, which transcends all understanding. Transcends all understanding. Meaning, your brain literally cannot make sense of it. And that is exactly how you know it's real. The sign of Gabriel's presence. It's not an audible voice booming in your bedroom. It's not a cinematic dream with angels in white robes. It is this sudden, unshakable certainty. You've been searching for an answer for weeks. You've been spinning your wheels. Overthinking. Doubting. And then one morning, without anything actually happening, you just know. Not I think maybe. Not it could be. You know. Something inside your spirit just aligns. A clear path opens up right where everything used to be a thick fog. Or sometimes, it's even more subtle. A sentence in a book that jumps out at you. A Bible verse that shows up on your feed the exact day you needed it. A casual conversation with someone. who unknowingly speaks the exact words you needed to hear. Gabriel speaks through the ordinary world. You just need to get quiet enough to hear him. And the sign of Raphael. This might be the hardest one to catch, because it looks like something else. It looks like passing time. Do you remember that pain that felt completely unbearable 2 years ago? That betrayal, that loss, that intense grief. And today, you can actually talk about it. Not without emotion, but without it destroying you. You didn't heal from that on your own. Time alone doesn't heal all wounds. Time spent with someone does. And Raphael was right there, on that road with you. In that friend who listened without judging. In that counselor who gave you the right tools. In that moment of prayer, where you finally cried out the tears you've been holding back for years. He doesn't sign his work. But he does it anyway. So this is how you really recognize their presence. Not by chasing supernatural signs, but by learning to read what is already right in front of you. Inexplicable peace, that's Michael. Sudden clarity, that's Gabriel. Progressive healing, that's Raphael. And sometimes, all three of them work together. Because certain seasons of life demand all three at once. Protection, direction, healing. And those seasons, those are usually the most defining moments of your entire life. We've covered a lot of ground together today, and before I let you go, I want you to take just 1 second. Don't scroll. Don't swipe to the next video. Just pause for a second. Think about what you are going through right now. Not what you show other people. Not the highlight reel of your life. What you are really carrying right now. If you are fighting against something that's crushing you, against fear, intrusive thoughts, against spiritual forces you don't fully understand, Michael is there, the warrior standing right between you and whatever is attacking you. If you're lost, if you have no idea what direction to take in your career, in your relationships, in your life, Gabriel is there, the messenger whispering truth to those who get quiet enough to listen. And if you are carrying old wounds, pain you thought you buried, relationships you thought were dead, a version of yourself you thought was gone forever, Raphael is there, walking right beside you, silent, faithful, even when you can't see him. What I hope you take away from this video, it's not just information, it's not just 3 names to memorize. It is the deep-rooted conviction that you have never, ever been alone. In any of the battles you've faced. Never. And you certainly aren't alone today, either. Now, I have a question for you. And I really want your honest answer, not just an auto-reply. Which of these 3 archangels resonates the most with what you're going through right now? Michael, because you're in a battle. Gabriel, because you need direction. Raphael, because you need healing. Type it in the comments. Just the name. Or share a little more of your story if you feel led to. Because sometimes, just naming what you're walking through is the very first step to getting out of it. And I read your comments. I really do. If this video touched you, not because I'm asking you to, but because you're thinking of someone in your life who is carrying a heavy burden right now, share this with them, not with everyone. With that specific person who popped into your head while I was speaking, you know exactly who it is. My name is Edward, and if you want to continue this journey, exploring the deeper truths that the Bible hides on the surface, but reveals to those who are truly seeking, hit that subscribe button, not to boost an algorithm, but so we can keep having this conversation. Take care of yourself, and remember, you are not alone.